What is up, guys? Snack out here, back for another video, and today we're going to be ranking my top 15 candies to sell at school. This is my own personal list, so keep in mind this is not the same to everybody, so you may have disagreements, but overall this is not a conversation because people have different customers and basically everyone has different demands at their school and people around them. And if you guys want me to make a list for chips and drinks, I will do so. Just let me know in the comments down below and like this video, because this is basically just a candy list. Now, what am I going to be basing it off of? I'm going to be basing it off of sales and profit. How well will it sell? How many people want to buy it? And how much money does it make for me? Is it worth it to sell it, or is it a waste of my time? It'll go from S to F. S being the best of the tiers, F being the worst and nobody wants it, or it's really hard to try to sell it. And S being the best, obviously everyone wants to buy. So first we have at the A tier, the Skittles and Starburst variety pack. Every candy seller's grail and necessity. Everyone talks about this. Mostly, you find it at the Costco, Sam Club, and sometimes you may find it at Safeway and Smart and Final. And these are the best things to sell if you're starting out. But it's a little bit hard sometimes. And the reason I didn't put it at the S tier is because of the Starburst inside. The Skittles individually do super well. If it was just the Skittles, I would probably put it at the S tier. But since the Starbursts are a little harder to sell, like they take a little longer, even though the profit's the same, it is going to put it down into A tier. Because this is basically based off how fast it'll sell and how much money it makes, right? So that wouldn't make sense if I put it at S tier, even though it is lacking a little behind on the Starburst situation. But you do make a good about $16 profit if you were to sell this whole box, so don't forget your other options. Now we have the Trident Gum. Alright, so we're moving on to the B and C tier. Now I couldn't really decide where to put this in because it was a little bit between each when I was deciding. Like sometimes when the gum is on sale, I would put it on B because you make more profit. It would be $7 for 15 packs, and now it's a $9 sometimes for 15 packs, which makes me want to put it at C. And the demand isn't crazy, but there are those customers who will buy multiple packs from you every week, making it worth it to sell. And this is why it's not as good as the A tier. Now, we do have the Sour Punch straws. The flavor will vary depending on the sales. So if I choose to buy the red flavor and it doesn't do as well, it is because people like different things. Alright, I did try it in freshman year, and the reason why I didn't put it at A tier is because it kind of slowly died off. People wanted it at first, but overall, over time, it kind of lost interest, and the demand for it just wasn't there, so I couldn't justify putting it at A. But some people, I know a lot of YouTubers, they make the videos how to sell candy. They do sell Sour Punch straws, so that is a good option. Let's move on to the next item, Black Forest Gummy Bears. Alright, now, Gummy Bears in general are a very high demand to kids. All right, a lot of kids around the world, they like gummies, and the biggest brands are Black Forest and Haribo probably. So the reason why I put this at B tier is because the profit isn't extremely high, but the demand is really high for it. So what it is basically I sell it for 50 cents, and it's a small pack inside. So most people will pay me at $1 to get 2, and that's why it's really easy to sell because of how fast it goes through. I usually get about 2 to 3 boxes every restock, and it sells out within a week. So I would put it at B tier in terms of sales, but in terms of profit, it would not be anywhere higher than the B tier. So that's where it's stuck at. And now we're going to move on to the Reese's. So the Reese peanut butter cups. I don't know if it's just me, guys, but at my school, people don't like candy with nuts in it. Whether it's peanut butter, flavor, almond, or some kind of nut, they don't like it, alright? So basically, I put it there because I tried to find them for variety. The profit isn't there, the demand isn't there, so it's a C tier, alright? If it was anything better, trust me, I would put it higher. But because it's not really good to buy it in variety packs, and the only way I see it is when buy the one with the Hershey's and the Kit Kat. There's no really good way to make a lot of profit on it, and plus, personal list doesn't do well for me at my school. But anyways, if you guys do think it does well for you, please feel free to comment down below and let me know. Alright, now we have the Trolli Worms. Contrary to the Gummy Bears, however, and a couple slides ago, we do have Gummy Worms. Now, these ones are basically sour pieces of candy gummy that many people like because it's a bigger pack, first of all, because I sell it for $150. It's more justified for that price, and it'll fill them up more. When people are hungry, they want something that will last them longer and keep them, more focused on eating or snacking on during class to help them from getting bored. So basically, the sour gummy worms, who doesn't like it? Every little kid probably likes gummies all around the world. And this one is a perfect match because you can share it with somebody, or it can last you throughout the day without buying any other snack. And the sour gummy worms, I go through about 2 boxes. So for profit wise, it is definitely up there, and the demand is definitely up there. That's why this is the first S tier, and I'm putting it at that. So in order to make profit on most of these items, you do have to have different type of schools. Like, I know some people might have recess at the very top, some people might not, but it's all about preference. Anyways, let's go on to the M&Ms and Twix with the Snickers and Milky Way variety pack. Now, the reason this is A tier, not S tier, is just a little bit tiny off, alright? The reason it isn't is because everything else there sells super well, but it's just the Snickers, alright? So I already put a variety pack for A with the Skittles and Starburst, but I decided to throw another one in there because, I might as well save some paper, or like not paper, but save some space on this slide by putting it all into one. And the Snickers are usually the last things to sell. Now, if the Snickers sold just as well as all the chocolates in there, it'd be S tier. It'd be a godly thing. Now, because the Snickers doesn't sell as fast, and it's always the last thing, and the profit isn't as high as the Trolli, I would put it at A tier because it's about $14 or $15 a box, and you get 30, about $15 profit, just around double. So A tier definitely deserves. Another one that was in A tier is the Lifesaver gummies. Alright, the collision gummies are a big popular item. All gummies do well fairly. None of them are worse than B tier. And the Lifesaver gummies are just really nice because they're $2, and people want to buy it because it's a sheer size. Like I mentioned earlier, people want to buy something that will fill them up. Something worth their time. Now, some people might not want to buy all the time because it is $2, and it is usually more expensive than everything else I have. And since it is more expensive than most of the things I have, people are not going to guarantee to buy every day to spend that extra dollar. But when they do, it's a share size, and they can share with other people, making it really well worth it. Now let's move on to the F tier item. We have Almond Joy. Like I mentioned earlier with the Recess Puff, or the Recess cereal flavored thing, like the chocolate, they had almond, and what do they have in common? They have nuts. People don't like to eat chocolate with nuts at my school. It's just a not popular item, and the reason is because they mix coconut flavor with almonds, and that just never does well for me. I've tried, and the variety packs don't come with it. If you want to buy it in bulk, it's definitely not going to do good. Just so the profit and demand is not there for me. That's why it deserves the F spot in my list. It's a really shitty item. I'm not gonna call anyone else if you do sell it, but just let you know, in my opinion, it does very bad for me and has never worked out in the past. So far we have one S tier and one F tier, and everything else is in the middle because of their demand. Now let's see if there's any outliers at the end of this, and I'll tell you guys what I noticed from doing this whole tier list project. So moving on to the next item. For this one, we're going to be going into Sour Patch Watermelon. Now, I could have put Sour Patch Kids and Watermelon in it together, but because of their little slight difference, I wasn't going to put them in the exact same tier. Now, you'll see why in a minute. Now, when you have Sour Patch Watermelon, what you are doing is that it's limited to one flavor. And when you have Sour Patch Kids, you have a lot of different flavors. And basically, both of them cost the same amount. But when it comes down to it, which one makes the most money is not because of how much they cost. It's because of the demand. The Sour Patch Watermelon has a lot more demand than the Sour Patch Kids. Most people that come to my locker often ask me for Sour Patch Watermelon instead. Now, I don't know why people want one flavor rather than multiple flavors, or they just like the watermelon shape, or whatever has to do with it. But I put it at A tier because simply, if you put all the items in A tier next to each other, I couldn't tell you which one I would choose to sell. All of them do equally well for me. But if you were to put Sour Patch Watermelon and Sour Patch Kids next to me, I could easily decide which one I would rather sell because how fast it would sell. Now, let's go on to the next item. We have Dum Dums. Lollipops in general don't do good, guys. If you guys buy lollipops at my school, you will know that teachers hate seeing you eat lollipops during class, simply because when they call on you, you're unable to talk normally, to get out of your mouth, and it's kind of distracting to other people. And you can also know that if someone's eating, it's really obvious. Another reason is because it's not going to fill them up. When people are hungry, they want to buy food to fill them up, right? Something that will make it last, something worth their time eating. So this doesn't provide much calories or sugar, in fact, and it's not a good buy. On the contrary, we have another S tier item, the cookie and cream Hershey bars. Alright, these are the bomb, best chocolate to sell, without a doubt. They sell every week. I have to buy multiple boxes every restock, and they're basically just the best chocolates. People want something with a big mixture of texture, taste, and the price is just only $1 for a bar that comes in multiple pieces, so it's guaranteed to last them. Now, moving on, along from the S tier, we have the B tier, something that's hanging pretty well, average candy seller. If you want to get started, you can buy stuff from B tier and up that I would definitely recommend. So we have the candy with the Airhead Extremes sour strips. Basically, just long strips of candy to have sour, like little powder, or like not powder, but little sprinkles of sour dust on it or whatever. And the reason why it's B tier is because the profit is not there. It costs about $12 for 18, and if you do the math, $6 profit is not really good for you at all, and you don't want to be buying stuff that's wasting time. Along with the demand, it's not super high. Stopped selling Airhead strips about a year ago. But anyways, for the last slide, or the last images, I decided to put them together with the Kit Kat and the Hershey's 36 pack. Now, the reason why I put these together is because both chocolates have the same cost, the same profit, but the demand of it is a little bit different. Now, you see, with the S tier items, all three of them are the best items to sell. If I recommend selling candy at your school, I would say anything up from B tier and up, right? But if you want to look at the big profit earners, not because of the price of it, because of how fast it will sell. I bring about 9 to 10 candy bars a day for a Kit Kat, and they all go by the time it's lunchtime, and there's none left. My employees even tell me that all the customers love those chocolates, and the Hershey's don't do just as well. The Kit Kat comes with 4 bars individually packed, while the Hershey's only comes with a little bit of pieces and it only has one flavor. People like the crunch and texture within the Kit Kat, and that is why it is number one. This tier list review. If you guys want to see another one for the chips and the drinks, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. And I also have another thing to mention. If you guys see the wallet, like this MCM wallet and the Yeezys in my last video in the intro, if you guys want to buy any of my items, I usually have it for sale on my hype page, hype site SF. Or you can follow my Instagram at NBDSnackGod and message me about any of the items. I sell them there. And anyways, hope you guys do enjoy this video. Just remember to subscribe. Come on, road to 2K, guys. I believe we can make it by the end of this year. We're getting there. And we got monetized a couple weeks ago. So we are starting to get a little bit of revenue from my videos. I'm going to put some ads in between each one. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.